The cruelest betrayals don't come from strangers. They come from the ones who swore to love you, while secretly sharpening the knife behind your back. For 3 years, I lived like a ghost. My husband Mark claimed he was paralyzed after a car accident in Los Angeles. I sold everything: my jewelry, my car, even my grandmother's wedding ring. Still, it wasn't enough. So I scrubbed hotel toilets, mopped floors, and changed bedsheets for strangers, just to scrape money for his surgery. Every blister on my hands was proof of my loyalty. Until one night, I walked into a luxury suite to clean, and my world shattered. There was Mark, standing tall, laughing, pouring champagne for the half-dressed woman sprawled across the silk sheets. My blood went cold. The man I broke myself for, the man who pretended to be paralyzed, wasn't just a liar, he was a monster. He saw me and froze. "It's not what it looks like," he stammered. But I said nothing. I simply left, burning with a rage so sharp it felt like fire in my veins. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to cry anymore. I was going to bury him. The next week, Mark and his mistress returned to that same suite. Only this time I was waiting. Not in person on the walls. The lights dimmed. A hidden projector flickered on, and suddenly the room was filled with footage. Me cleaning floors until my knees bled, counting coins in my hands and whispering prayers beside the hospital bed where he pretended to be paralyzed. Then came the hotel security tapes I'd stolen Mark, perfectly fine, carrying his mistress into the room. The guests in the surrounding suites, curious about the commotion, began gathering at the door. Phones were out. Cameras were recording. Mark's mistress screamed, covering herself with a sheet. And then I walked in. In my hands, I carried two things: divorce papers and a police file I'd built with a private investigator. Fraud, theft, insurance scams, medical fund embezzlement. Enough evidence to lock him away for decades. His face turned ashen. "You wouldn't." I cut him off. "You stole my love. You stole my money. You stole my life. Now I'm stealing yours." The police stormed in minutes later. Guests clapped as Mark was dragged out in handcuffs, his mistress running half-naked down the hall. But his nightmare was only beginning. I had already emptied our joint accounts into a legal trust. His business partners had copies of the evidence. His investors pulled out overnight. Within 24 hours, Mark wasn't just arrested. He was bankrupt, abandoned, and disgraced. When I left the hotel that night, I didn't walk out a victim. I walked out a widow to a man still alive, a man buried under the weight of his own lies. And I didn't shed a single tear. If this revenge tale sent shivers down your spine, don't just subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Because the darkest betrayals deserve the darkest justice. And I'll be serving it raw, one story at a time.